Using just old school Chenille and a worn out button-up shirt, I'll show you how to make retro washable pillow covers. Next. Alright guys, the first thing you're going to want to do to make these retro pillow covers is to measure your pillow. You want to measure it from the side seam, going across your pillow to side seam on the other side, and also up and down. This pillow measures about 15 inches by 15 inches, so I'm going to make a template about 16 inches by 16 inches, and that will give me a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Just like this. I use freezer paper, but you could use wrapping paper, a thick plastic, or even newspaper. Since these covers are going to be washable, it's a good idea just to make a pattern and save it, and then anytime you want to change up your decor, you can just pull out your pillow pattern. For the front of our pillows, I chose this yellow chenille. I was recently given a bag of a bunch of different scrap fabrics. There were some old lace tablecloths and about 3 of these old chenille bedspreads. 2 of them had already been cut up, used for other things previous to me getting them, and 1 is a little worn in the corner but still whole. So I decided I was going to use this as my front. We have a chocolate brown couch cover for our couch here in the basement, and I think this yellow will just pop on it. So now you want to turn your fabric upside down. For me it's the easiest because of the fluff. You want to lay your pattern down on it and cut around. The great thing about using freezer paper is if you place it waxy side down, you can just hit it with a hot iron and it will stick. Now just cut it out. Now because I'm using this chenille and it has these fluffy ridges on it, it is somewhat difficult to cut, but you could use any fabric you want for this front part. Now you just want to set this off to the side and grab your button-up shirt. And as you can see, there's a little bit of ink stain on this pocket here, but I'm not going to worry about it since this is just going to be the back of the pillow. Now we only need the front of this shirt, so what I'm going to do is cut the side seams. I'm going to cut off the arm but leave a little bit of the arm. If you're using a small shirt, you might have to go up into the arm to get enough fabric. And then I'm going to cut across the top collar and down the shoulder seams. And don't throw the back away because that could be used for something else. Alright guys, now we just have the front of our button-up shirt. You want to make sure that all your buttons are buttoned because that'll help keep the shirt together at this point. Now our shirt is facing up, and now we want to put our front piece facing down. You want to be mindful of where your buttons are. Now like I said, this does have a 1/2 inch seam allowance, so you want to make sure there's no buttons around that area. We're okay up here, but down here there's a button right there. So I would just go ahead and take that off. Now the next thing to do is pin, and I like to pin a lot. I like to start off with one right in the middle and kind of smooth your fabric out. And just keep pinning. Now I'm just going to meet you over at my sewing machine, and we're going to sew a 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way around, back stitching at the beginning and the end. Now I like to leave all this extra stuff on here until I'm done and then trim it away, but you could just trim it now if you want. Now it doesn't really matter where you start or stop on this because it's one continuous seam. Just make sure to backstitch. and make sure it's on a straight stitch. Now, because I'm using such a thick fabric, I'm just going to give it a little guidance from the back. I'm not pulling it, I'm just kind of helping it through. When you get about a ½ inch from the corner, you want to stop, put your needle down, lift your presser foot, and pivot. Put your presser foot down and sew. I don't know if you can see or not, but my fabric did kind of fold over right here at the end, but you're not even going to see it when we turn it inside out. Now the next thing to do is to finish these edges, and there's a few different ways that you could do that. You could take some pinking shears and then cut around the edge, making sure you don't hit your seam, and that'll help it from fraying when you wash it. The next thing you could do is trim the white shirt even with your top fabric here, and do a zigzag stitch so that when you zig, you're hitting the fabric, and when you zag, you're just coming off the edge of your fabric. But since I have a serger, I'm just going to go ahead and use my serger and serge all the way around. Alright guys, I'm here at my serger, and you're probably not going to be able to see it, but on the presser foot here, there are two little lines, and that indicates where your needles are. So I'm going to line the seam that we sewed up with the left needle. And just serge. When you get to where the plackets are, you just want to take that area slow. Now you could clip these off, but since they're going on the inside of the pillow, I'm not even going to worry about it. Now our next step to do is to unbutton the shirt and turn these inside out. You can use a bone folder to poke out the corners to make them nice and sharp. And there you go. Now let's go get the pillow and see how it looks. And there you have it, guys. I think the yellow of this chenille really pops on this brown couch cover. And as you can see, Chloe approves. If you like this video and want to see more of my videos, don't forget to subscribe. If you like this video, share it across your social medias. If you have any questions about this video or any other of my videos, don't forget to leave a comment. And as always, thanks for watching. See you next time.